Welcome back, everybody, to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic medium. Thank you so much for joining me. As you can see on my screen, I've got my good friend, Dr. Vicky Serbo here. And here is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be looking at J.D. Vance. We're going to be looking at Miller, and we're going to be looking at Hegseth. But we're going to be looking at their astrology, their Kabbalah, and also their numerology and their tarot. So have you ever even known that you could look at all these different dynamic, intuitive ways, these divination systems? Well, you can actually dial in and get not just your astrology, not just the tarot, not just the numerology, but you can add the Kabbalah. You can get a whole 360-degree view of your life. I have done it. She has done it for me. It is incredibly helpful. So if you're interested in that, she does have readings, and you can check her out in the description, right? But Dr. Vicky, do you want to say hello?
Hi, everyone. How are
Thank you
you
for
all
joining me.
doing?
We're also good. We're going to be better after you give us the 411-911 on these basket of deplorables, you call them. But what is your website again? Should people want to learn about you, please share your website again.
My website is the seedsofttransformation.com, all one word, SEEDS, Seeds of Transformation. So,
Yeah. All right. So check her out, you guys. She's got a YouTube channel, but check out her website because you can find everything out from that direction. And let's get cracking. She's going to show her screen and she's going to show you what she's looking at, what you're going to be looking at. She's going to explain it to you because you can also see she's a great teacher. And it's not going to go over your head. Vicki and I've done this many, many times together. She's very good at explaining things in a way that you can understand. So I'm excited about it because I think Vance's time is coming. I think he's getting ready to be in the emperor's chair. So I'm interested to see what his energy looks like.
okay. So let me just set
A
this up.
basket of deplorables.
Yes, I
Wow.
borrowed that from Hillary. It was very apt, though, I'll tell you
She's
that.
everything she said turned
Came
out to be
true.
true.
That's
Her
right.
and Kamala Harris too, and a lot of other people.
Well, women.
Mostly
Let's
women.
just let's be real about this.
Mostly women.
Women, yeah. I mean, if you the only person, well, not the only person, but one of the main persons that I'm seeing talking about what's really going on right now is AOC.
Yeah, AOC.
I mean, she's right out there. She just says it. All right. So we're looking at James David Vance, born August 2nd, 1984. I was out of college already. This makes me feel old. 8:11 a.m. in Middletown, Ohio, like in the middle of the middle, I guess, of America. So the first thing I have here is his numerology. And when you look at somebody's name, it is the vibration that they come in on. And so the name actually describes who they've been previous to this lifetime. Now, the interesting thing about JD Vance is that he has had three names.
I
And
know.
so you have to sort of like look at that first. So he was born James Donald Bowman, interestingly enough. And then when he was about 6, his mother married, I think, her third husband, and his name was Hamill. And she didn't want her son to have his father's name, Donald Bowman. So she renamed him James David Hamill at 6 years old. Now, the way that I understand numerology is you have to have your new name as long as you've had your old name before the new vibration comes in. And so he didn't really become James David Hamill until he was about 6 years old. No, 12 years old. So when he was 12 years old, so his original name sort of fell in the background. You don't really lose your original name, but the name that's now the legal name comes up, and that's how you express yourself. Now, he did change his name to James David Vance, but that was in 2014, I think it was. And so he still is working under this name, James David Hamill, which was his stepfather's name. I don't think he got along with him either. So I just wanted to get the technical part out of this because you're like, who's James David Hamill? I
Well,
thought we were
on the
talking
here
about
it says Bowman. So on your screen it says Bowman though.
up here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But down here, Hamill. Yep.
Oh, down there. Okay.
Right,
I just
right.
go to highlighted things. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's okay. So
All
down
right.
where it says name,
Oops.
okay,
Yep.
got it.
Sorry.
Got it.
I just I do that all the time. I click on and it moves by itself. Okay. So your vowels in your name are your inner feminine, and your consonants are considered your outer personality, your outer masculine. So the vowels sort of describe who you are on the inside, and the consonants will describe how you express yourself out in the world. Now, he actually has he has practically his soul vibration is a master number, and his outer personality is a master number, and then the combination, the expression number, is also a master number. So master numbers are the double numbers, and it is thought that people with master numbers have come in to be of aid to humanity. Now, having a master number doesn't guarantee that you're going to make the right choice necessarily. But the thing about master numbers is if you don't make the right choice, it's like you get doubly pummeled because you should know better. Okay. So his soul vibration is a 22 vibration. This is a master spiritual builder, and it's connected to the Fool card in the tarot. And so it's a Uranus energy. So he has a lot of Uranian energy. Uranus is the energy of sort of breaking out of leaving the known and moving into the more unknown. Okay. His outer personality is a 33. 33 is a master number, is a master of compassion. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, this is really J.D. Vance that we're talking about? And then when you add these two vibrations together, we get a third vibration, which is called the expression. And this is how he balances his inner and outer self. And there we have a 55, another master number. And it's actually the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is the sword of truth. So you would think him coming in with all these master numbers and showing us the truth. Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see how he does with that. Now, those numbers come in with your name, so you sort of, they're already part of you. Your path of life comes with your birthday. And when we add his birthday up, 8 to 1984, we get a 32-5, which in the tarot is the Six of Wands. This is an especially important number because it's the same vibration as the word America. It's the path of life of the United States. It's the lesson of the United States. And it's also the shadow of the United States. And so Kamala Harris had this shadow. She actually had a 32-5 shadow, just like America. Now, what is a 32-5? Well, 32-5, a 5 is about freedom, but it's freedom based on responsibility. So before you can truly be free, you have to be responsible for yourself. You have to take 100% responsibility for yourself. Now, as somebody who comes in with a path of life as a 32-5, if he takes 100% responsibility for himself, then we might be in better stead here. But he can also express the shadow of America through this. And of course, the shadow of America is who is truly free. I don't know, rich white guys, as far as I can tell, right? And then we have his own shadow, his own shadow. And we get that by taking his first name, James, excuse me, his middle name's David, James, and add his birth day, like the day of his birth. And we come up with a 14-5, which is the Temperance card in the tarot. Now, the Temperance card is a card of spiritual initiation. And your shadow is what you came in to heal in this lifetime. So I feel like with this chart, he has a lot to do in this lifetime for him to heal his shadow. Now, let me just continue here. So this is called, the right in the middle here is called the divine triangle. And each one of these lines is a 9-year line. So he's on this line right now. He is, let's see, how old is he now? 2025. In 2025, on his birthday, he turned 41 years old. And so he's on this line 36 to 45. This is a 19-1 vibration. The 19-1 is called a karmic destiny number. And it means that if you have a 19-1 in your chart, some people have it as one of their original numbers from their name or their birthday. Some people have it as, like he has it, a period of time in his life. Now, this is part of his power square, which is how he builds power in this lifetime.
Mm.
In order to do that, though, he has to walk this 19-1 path. And as a karmic debt number, um, what you're doing is, there's been an abuse of power in the past. And so you've come in this lifetime to turn that around. And it is considered that when you start a 19-1 cycle, where you start and where you end is exactly the opposite direction if you work it the right way. So if you're an asshole when you start, then maybe you're a good guy when you end. If you're a good guy when you start, maybe you're an asshole when you... Sorry about the language. Okay. I was in Chicago for a week, so, I'm going to blame it on Chicago. Usually I blame it on New Jersey. Okay. Where I was born and raised. Okay. So he's on this path, and he actually went on this path in 2020, which
Oh
was
my God.
right. Okay. And he'll be on that path until 2029. That's when he turns 45.
Mm.
Interestingly enough, this year in 2025, on his birthday, he actually has a personal year vibration of a 19-1. So that doubles down on this idea of having to make up for an abuse of power starting this year for him. It's 9 years, but this year is especially important, and we can certainly see that in what's going on. And then over here we just have, these are the cards associated. This is his youth square, the Six of Wands again. So it's when you have a 32-5, you can be very successful in America. People tend to be very successful, and you're connected to America in that way if you have a 32-5 in your chart. Do you have a 32-5 in your chart?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I should have looked at that. Well, there's a lot of stuff in my head, so
Yeah, there's
uh,
a lot of stuff going on.
there's a lot of stuff going on. And then the other thing is, I put this pink line because these are the years that he's going to be in this 19-1. I got as far as 44. Yeah, that's when it ends. When he turns 45, then he goes on to this path, which is the 4, which is actually the Emperor. Okay. But let's see, where are we now? Right now, so this is a big year for him. So we'll see how he does. He's in a 19-1 personal year along a 19-1 9-year cycle. And from his birthday, 8/2 to 12/2, which is where he is right now, right? We haven't gotten to December yet. He's in a 14-5. That's his shadow.
Mm.
And then we have from 12 to next year, 4/2, he's in a shadow again.
Mm.
So we have this, like, this would be an opportunity for him to really make up for the sins of the past, we'll call it, right? We'll see how he does. And then next year on his birthday, he moves into a judgment vibration. Now, I did put him to 2028, and 2028 would be when he would run, right? That's the next presidential election.
Right.
He's going to be in a 22-4 Fool vibration,
Mm.
which is his soul vibration.
Mm. Interesting.
Yeah, and it's Uranus. It's the energy of Uranus. Now,
Very interesting.
yeah, so it's just, I mean, it's Yeah, as much as we either like him or dislike him, he is the man of the moment. He's probably even more significant to this country than Trump. He's also a different, I mean, he was born in the 80s, right? Trump was born in the 40s. So it's a whole nother sort of generation. Um, his name, James David Vance, which is what he goes by now, his soul remains the same, interestingly enough. Even though he's changed his name, his soul remains the same. 22 over 4, the Fool. His quiescent, his outer personality changes to a 3. That's kind of pleasant. The 3, that's a pleasant vibration. And his expression is the Queen of Swords. That is at 64 years old, he'll vibrate into that name. Um, right. Okay. So that's his numbers. Now, next, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I remember. I get all excited and then I forget what button to press. So this is his chart. This is JD Vance's chart. He has a Leo ascendant. Leo ascendants are really stars in the making, right? Leo is ruled by the sun. They tend to be dramatic. They tend to be, they just, you notice a Leo rising, okay? They usually have good hair, but he certainly has, he wears they call him Little Smoky. The girls from I Have Had a Podcast, they call him Little Smoky because of his eyes. He kind of has those sort of cat eyes a little bit, little like
Sure.
that, right?
That's true.
He has his sun in the 12th house. It's not unusual to see people with their sun in the 12th house to be in important positions and in positions of leadership because the 12th house is the most collective house in the chart. Um, Vladimir Putin has his son in the 12th house. Joe Biden had his son in the 12th house. George W., little George, had his son in the 12th house. It generally means that your life is dedicated to the collective. He also has his Venus there. He has Venus in Leo. So he likes himself for sure. He has a Mars in Scorpio. This is a little dangerous, the Mars in Scorpio, because Mars functions really well in Scorpio and it can be very sneaky. It can be very sneaky. His North Node, which is the point of his destiny, is in the 10th house. 10th house is the house of the president or the house of the leader. So he really has come in to be a leader. That is his destiny. And his south node is in the 4th house. Now I'm going to just go one more over and I'm going to show you. This is JD Vance again. He's over here on the right. And this is Trump on the left. When you look at it, it kind of looks similar, right? I mean, it has a similar vibe to it. Trump has a Leo rising. Leo rising. South node in Sag. South node in Sag in the 4th house, in the 4th house. Now, Trump has his moon conjunct his south node. Your south node is your past. And if there's a planet conjoin the south node, it's something that hasn't developed yet. And in the case of Trump, it's his moon, his emotions, his feelings. That's why he's a little baby, right? Now, Vance also has something conjunct his south node, but for him, it's Uranus. Uranus is instability. The 4th house is the home. He came from a very unstable home life. Not Trump. Trump came from a relatively stable home life. But Trump's North Node is conjunct Uranus. So Trump's destiny is to create chaos, really. Whereas JD Vance's is he's coming from chaos and he's come to find his voice, Gemini. They both have Gemini North Node, so there's something about their ability to communicate. Now he has Chiron conjunct his North Node. This is JD Vance. Chiron is the wound, and it's a wound around speech. It could be about lying, right? Also, Gemini is duality. And so here's somebody who can be one person and then another person. his major issue is that I think with his instability, coming from his instability, I'm not sure he knows who he is,
Right. Right.
right? And it's possible that he does, and he's just not letting us in on it. But from what I can see from the outside, I don't know the man personally, but just watching the way he does, he seems to be quite duplicitous, which means that he could also switch again. Now,
Right.
can we trust that? Likely not. But maybe we can. We don't know. We'll have to see. It's really a whole wait and see kind of thing. Now, what this is Trump's chart, and this is JD Vance's chart on the outside. And so we can see in this chart how they connect with each other. So we have Trump's Pluto, which is his soul vibration, his soul energy. Trump has Pluto in the 12th house. When you have Pluto in the 12th house natally, it's important that you understand that there's a higher power, that there's something greater than you. And if you don't, you generally become a psychopath. So we know what Trump did, right? Trump doesn't like talk to God because he doesn't need to ask,
Yeah.
right? They ask you ever talk to Jesus. He's like, well, I don't really need to ask him anything, because he knows everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that he's a bit of a psychopath. Now, Vance's son illuminates that. So that sort of potentiates that. Trump's Mars is in Leo, my way or the highway, and he has Vance's Venus is there. So there is I don't know if I'd call it affection, but there's a magnetic attraction between these two. Okay. Because I'm not sure. I don't know if Trump, I don't, well, I would say I don't know if Trump likes um, Vance because Trump doesn't like anybody but himself. And then I don't think he even likes himself. Otherwise, he wouldn't act the way he did. But that's just my own thoughts on that. So it could be somewhat of a love-hate, but there's definitely like a magnetic attraction between them. And then the other thing I just want to point out is Vance's moon sits on Trump's Jupiter. Jupiter in Trump's chart is the key to his luck. He's a lucky SOB, and it's because of Jupiter. Jupiter trines his sun, his north node, which is the direction of his destiny, and his Uranus, the chaos maker. And Jupiter makes everything bigger. And there's Vance's moon right there on his Jupiter. So again, he sort of potentiates Trump. Now, this here is called Black Moon Lilith. In Trump's chart, it's at 4 degrees, 28 minutes of Sagittarius. Black Moon Lilith is where we're willing to go to extremes, right? And we have his Vance's South Node. So he's willing to go to extremes for Trump. Now, his shadow, Vance's shadow, is about extremity. When you have the temperance, temperance is about walking the straight and narrow and not getting caught up in extremes as you get exposed to extremes. And so JD Vance, if he wants to heal his shadow and connect his higher self with his lower self, which is what that path does for us, um, he could do some really amazing things, and it could be a spiritual initiation for all of us. It's going to be a spiritual initiation for all of us anyway. The question is he going to aid or is he not? So I think that's all I have on JD. And then of course I have the other deplorables we can look at, but I want to just sort of I'm going to stop it for now. And I don't know if you want to if you
I
want.
just want to remind everybody that, and I want you to correct me if I have this wrong, but the way Dr. Vicky does this is the name you've had the longest is the name you use in the numerology. And that's why she's using that name that he got in the middle of his life. Is that
Right.
correct?
It's actually it's the legal name.
The legal
You have to
name, the
use the
legal
legal name. And so for those of you who were wondering what that means, marriage names are not legal names. I mean, they are, but they're not in numerology. So your birth name is your name, unless in the case of him, he got adopted and by his stepfather. So that's a legal name change. So if there's a legal name change, like I was born with one name and then I was adopted at one. So when I turned about three, my name Victoria kicked in and I was that name because I was legally adopted at like 18 months old. So I had to wait till I was three to actually vibrate to Victoria. But it has to be legal. So it's not necessarily the one you've had the longest because some people have been married for 50 years.
Right.
Their
Okay.
marriage name is not a legal name. It's an outfit that they're trying on. It's a persona, but it's not who they truly are. You're the name that you're born with.
Okay. Okay, great. So that's why she was using that. At some point in the future, it might be interesting if you had Peter Thiel's information to see what their attraction is, what their just in the future. And then the other thing I thought would be interesting is this guy has three names, three legal names. Born with a name, his mom changed it, and then he elected to change his name, right? I'm one because I don't, you have to know that he didn't just, I don't think these people are the kind of people that just pick names out of a book. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder if we took his three names, compared the vibration of those three names, we might figure out what he was thinking when he chose JD Vance. I don't know. I just think there's something there. What did he not like about that name and why did he choose JD Vance? It just might be very interesting, I think.
Well, I think as he says it, he chose Vance because that was his Mima's name was Vance, right? And he felt like she was
He
the
was the one
person
who raised him.
who raised him. So he wanted to give her the glory, I
I
guess,
see.
of the
Okay,
name. Yeah. I
cool.
mean, but that's not kicking until he's 64. Excuse me, 64.
Right. He has to wait that long. But
Hmm.
he was only Hamill for how many years?
He's been Hamill since 12 years old, but
Oh,
he didn't change his name until 2014. So he
right.
would
Oh
have
my
been what,
God.
30?
Okay.
He
Okay.
would have
So
been
he had
30.
that name for a good part of his, it's because the media says his name is Bowman. They don't even talk about the Hamill part.
Right. Right. But I looked, I mean, I did the research
Yeah.
and he was legally adopted by, as far now that's how I understand it.
Yeah.
But like either way, like even when he becomes JD Vance, his soul vibration doesn't change, which is
Right. That doesn't
unusual.
change. Right. Which is interesting. Okay.
Which is actually unusual. Usually if you change your name,
Right.
something changes in that, but
Right.
no, not him.
Right.
So
So
he's a fool now and he'll be a fool then.
that's right. He'll always be going off the cliff. So
What
the
kind
only
of
thing I
fool?
want to say to people that are watching this is that the way I would interpret what she showed us, because he has the same shadow as the United States of America, right? I could he,
No, no, he
no,
has the same, his path of life is the same vibration as America's path and
uh-huh,
America's shadow. America's path and shadow are the same vibration. So for America, our path is to heal the shadow. And
right?
that shadow is around issues of freedom and who's truly free.
Okay,
And
cool.
that's his path. So he's going to walk that. Now, your path is not easy, and his path never changes in this life because it's his birthday. So whether he's James Donald
Doesn't matter.
Bowman or it's the same path. He's still
Okay,
treading the
that's
path.
interesting. That his path is freedom, and his boss is taking away our freedom.
Right,
So, and
right.
I wonder if his, because we talked a little bit about this before we started recording, but I wonder if, I don't feel like his playbook is the same as DJT's playbook. I don't think his minders or his supporters, his money people have the same playbook as the playbook that DJT has. Maybe he worships DJT or he thinks it's okay. But I think when he ascends the throne, I think he's going to have a different playbook. I think he's going to have a different way forward. And I think he could roll back some of those anti-freedom things that DJT and Miller and Goebbels have been trying to foist on us. So I think he might roll that back, and he might get a lot of credit for that. As a matter of fact, it keeps me up at night that he is going to get a lot of credit for saving America, because he got rid of ICE and he was like, no, we're not going to do this. The problem is, when you talk about his sneakiness and, the duplicity, is that, okay, fine, maybe he does give us our freedom back, but he's going to exert another price. He's going to exact another price. There's another thing that he wants, that his boss wants, that's might be different, but it could be just as horrible. But luckily, I don't see him getting a lot of support in general, unless he does what you're saying. If he goes the middle road and tries to be the centrist and tries to bring us all together, and come on, let's all sit down together, let's all break bread together, let's all be a country again. I swear to God, I can see him saying those things. I don't think he believes it. I think he's just trying to manipulate us to an end. But that would also be him walking his walk for a period of time, wouldn't it?
Right. And I'll say this, he's a much more advanced soul than Trump. Trump is like a baby soul.
Right.
This guy is a more advanced soul. And so I don't know if he knows that, because he's still like, you don't really get these things, I think, until you're in your 40s and 50s, where you actually realize, if you ever realize, the potential for him. And so what I would say is, he has the kind of chart that could turn things around, and it could be positive. I'm not saying it's going to be, because he has free will. And and he's unstable. Emotionally, he's not really stable,
Right.
because of the Uranus on his south node, because of where he's come from, right? But I always give people I don't I like to think not to limit the possibilities of goodness in somebody. So it's possible. But it's going to be up to him. And I think once he gets in power, when he doesn't have to kowtow to this orange maniac, then things may change for him. He may say, wait a minute, now I have the power. I don't have to pretend to be like this guy, or do this or do that. I don't know. I think the idea of looking at his and Teal's chart would be fascinating. I have actually looked at that, but it was a couple of years ago, and I can't quite remember what I
Well,
saw.
yeah,
But
yeah,
they
I'm
are
sure.
definitely connected as
Because I'd
well.
like to know, because I can see him charting his own course away from DJT, but I feel like
Not necessarily the
Teal has been his benefactor, has been his
yes.
daddy in a sense, right? And he comes from a broken home. He doesn't know what his identity is. He's had three names. And this guy is like, this is the way, son. I will be your guardian. I'll help you figure this out. This is how you do it. And we can see that JD has made a lot of money doing things that were kind of like a little shady, like that app that he created where you buy farmlands that are underwater. He's just made money as a venture capitalist, in the whole machine of capitalism. So he's no dove. He is a smart guy. He knows about how to do that. And I think that that's his viewpoint, you know? So it's going to be interesting.
I
But
know it is. It's going to be. So I'm holding. I wouldn't say I'm holding out hope, but I'm holding back judgment as to it's going to be interesting to see. But I will say this: if you have all these master numbers in your chart and you fuck around,
you're
you
going to
get
pay.
slammed. You get like, one of the reasons Trump, I think, doesn't get slammed is because he's such a young soul. It's like, this
Yeah,
is his learning experience, right? But if you know better, you have to do better.
right. So he's
So
going to be held to a higher account.
yeah,
That's
we'll
going to be
see.
very interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that's the truth.
Okay. All right. Well, let's look at the next
Are
deplorable.
we dipping into the next deplorable?
We're
Okay,
going to dip
let
into
me.
the next deplorable. Who is that? We're
Oh
looking at Miller
God, the
and Seth today.
creepiest of them all, the one
Miller.
that is likely not not cool. Okay, let me
Oh
define
God,
where yeah, I
I feel
know.
like we should throw up some energetic shields or something.
Yeah, perhaps we will. Perhaps we will. I just have to, now I got off now. I have to get back on and find myself. Okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
All right. So okay. So we did Vance. Now, let's get to dum 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 dum.
That's just going to blow people's minds about Vance that he's got so many master numbers. But you know what? He's coming to teach us a lesson about freedom. That's for damn sure.
That's right. That is right. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm slow. Okay. Oh, is that how that happened? Okay, good. All right, let's go. Stephen Miller. Step back. All right, let's not look. All right, let's just move it. Okay, so he was born August 23rd, 1985, 4:53 p.m. in Santa Monica, California. All right. So, just like with JD, right? His soul and outer personality or quiescent coming from his name is who he has been in his previous incarnations. His soul is the queen of wands. I'm sure he would hate to know that. Um, and his outer personality is the fifth is a 42-6. That's the two of cups. It's interesting that it's transposed
It
like
is interesting.
34 and 42, right? It's sort of like mirror image. Um, the Queen of Wands as a soul vibration. Now, I want to say this. Now, as far as I know, Stephen doesn't have a middle name. I couldn't find a middle name, so we're just calling him Stephen Miller. If anybody knows if he has a middle name, you can let me know. That would change some of the numbers. But um, the Queen of Wands is located on the Tree of Life in a place called Baina, which is the place of the dark night of the soul. And so when you have vibrations in Baina, you have walked through the darkness. And his outer personality is connected on the Tree of Life in a place called Hokmah, which means wisdom, but it's connected to the planet Uranus.
Oh,
And
here we
so it can be disruptive. You see all this Uranus energy in all these people, right?
do
Okay.
see
When
it.
you add those two together, we get his expression, which is actually the Queen of Pentacles. So Stephen Miller is a queen twice over. Now, this is the vibration that he comes into, and I have more, I actually have some slides with it on the Tree of Life that we can see. His path in life, interestingly enough, is the Page of Swords, and it's a 9 vibration. The 9 is the last number, right? 1 through 9, and then we start at 1 again, is considered the number of humanity. And a 9 can express itself either in the most positive way or in the most negative way. In fact, 9 is often associated with criminality. Or if you're in a period of 9, you can actually be the victim of a crime. Okay. So his path of life has something to do with victimization. His eccentric angle, his shadow, he actually has an 11 shadow. When you have an 11 shadow, the chances are you chose the darkness the last time because 11 is about a choice between the light and the dark.
Mm.
Okay, so that's Stephen. Now, let me continue. So here's Stephen's chart, and here's his tree of life right next to it. So he has a Capricorn ascendant. People with Capricorn ascendant see the world through the eyes of Capricorn. They like to be in charge of things. They like to be at the top of the heap. They like to work in government, large institutions like that, where they can be the head of things. His sun is actually in Virgo. Now, his sun is at the first degree of Virgo. We just had a new moon on his sun at I think it was the end of August, was the new moon in Virgo. Um, his moon is his sun is in the eighth house. The eighth house is a water house. and it's the natural house for Scorpio. And Scorpio is the is death and rebirth. Now, his nodes, the nodes of your moon indicate where you've been, where you've come from, what you've come from, and where your destiny lies. The North Node is about the future, it's about your destiny. It's about walking into the unknown, whereas the South Node is what you know. Now, he was born at a time when Pluto was in Scorpio. Pluto Pluto rules Scorpio, but Pluto has a strange orbit. The sign that it spends the least amount of time in is Scorpio. And so it was only in Scorpio from about 1983 to 1994. People with Pluto in Scorpio as a south node come in with an Armageddon complex. They have the sense that at any moment the rug could get pulled out from under them. Now, I have seen a lot of Scorpio south nodes, and I often ask them if they have a sense of whether they were involved in a genocide or in maybe the Holocaust, because the South Node in Scorpio is a place of is death. Scorpio is a thing of death, right? So, so there's that question, right? And his South Node, which is his past, is in the 10th house, which is the house of being the boss. So he was the boss in a sort of scorpionic energy. Now, that in itself is difficult, but he has Pluto and Saturn, the two of the most malefic planets on either side of his nodes. And if you were to get the midpoint, which a midpoint between two planets is where those two planets um, sort of blend, right? Pluto is death and rebirth. Saturn is the Grim Reaper. They're both these symbols of death, really, right? And
Wow.
so his south node is right in the middle, right on that midpoint.
So that's where he came from.
That's where he came from. So uh, I've seen a lot of people think that he looks like Goebbels. Uh-huh. And if you put Goebbels' chart on his chart, there are connections. He could
Yeah.
be that person reincarnated. He could very well be that person reincarnated. So he's pretty icky. He's got a pretty icky energy. Now his soul vibration and his expression are located in Bina. Bina is associated with Saturn. He's got Saturn in Scorpio. His soul sits there. Remember, this is the dark night of the soul. His outer personality is quiescent, is the 42-6. That's located up in Hokmah. When you have things high up in the tree, um, this actually, well, I don't know. He also has his shadow here. So I work with five major numbers, and four of them are up at the top of the tree here. This is the third eye chakra. This is psychic ability. He does have his shadow here, so it's possible that he's a little bit blind. His shadow deals with relationships. His shadow deals with relationships, but his path is down here in Malkuth. Malkuth is the place of famous people, famous personalities, but it's also the place of victims and victimizers.
Oh, Jesus.
And the nine is a vibration of the best in us and the worst in us. The thing that is good about his chart as far as the connections to the tarot is that this vibration, the 54-9, is actually a page. It's a page. The page are young, right? So they're not that experienced, but
Right.
we can see the kind, like, why is he the way he is? Why is he so hateful, right? I think he brought it in this lifetime. Now he does have Jupiter square his nodes, which means that he can be a big fat liar. That can happen with Jupiter square the nodes. Jupiter is usually about truth, but when it's at odds with your with the and the nodes are your um the nodes are the direction of your evolution. And so you have Jupiter halfway between. Somebody else who has Jupiter square the nodes is Putin. Putin has Jupiter square the nodes. And
Wow.
actually, so does Bernie Sanders. So just because you have Jupiter square the nodes doesn't mean you're a bad guy. It means that you have to come to terms with the truth. He also has Mars and Mercury square the nodes. So you see this big giant square here? That's a grand fixed cross. And a grand fixed cross is seen in people who are stuck. And so he's stuck. It's considered the fixed signs are considered the soul, sort of a soul energy. So he's a quite a stuck and likely damaged soul. So he really is not pleasant, not a pleasant guy to be around. Interestingly enough, he's going in 2021. He moved on to an 8 line, and we'll look at it. Actually, I think I have to go back to look at it, but uh, and that's the 8 sits here on the tree of life, and that's connected to the throat chakra. And so when he talks, right, like it's like he screams, right? He's always freaking screaming. I don't know what his problem is. Well, I do know what his problem is. Ultimately for him, in order for him to evolve, he has to move away, out of being a leader, and he needs to go within because his North Node is in the fourth house, and it's in Taurus, so it's about stabilizing. It's about stabilization. Um, he would serve his soul well if he moved in the direction of taking care of something instead of destroying something.
He should have been a monk.
Yeah, well, here's
But I
uh
mean, going within,
yeah,
taking a
yeah,
vow of
yeah, yeah,
silence.
yeah. Yes. Well, a vow of silence would be helpful for all of us, right? Would help before us. So I might have Trump's things here. All right,
Miller,
this is Miller, and this is his divine triangle. He's got a lot of queens in his numbers, right? He
look,
had
I'm
Queen
just
of
gonna say the
Pentacles.
guy is gay. He
Okay, I have to agree with you. I
I
have to
mean,
agree
the
with you.
queen energy to me is probably some kind of mother damage that he has, but also hello, he's two spirit. He's
Well, he's got his soul in the place of the divine feminine,
yeah, exactly.
right? And then he has his youth square and his power square are both the Queen of Swords.
Yeah. I mean, so what does
And
that mean? Does that mean that he needs to heal the feminine or
yes, yes, yes. He needs to find balance between his masculine and feminine. But the feminine is the nurturer. And his north node is in Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. He has Venus in Cancer. And so he probably craves some sort of nurturance. He does have to become more connected to his feminine side. But I think a lot of these guys, honestly,
I
him
swear.
and who's his name? Moses Mike
All
and
of them seem to have some broken. Well, all the Republicans, when Grinder blows up, wherever they go,
yes, it
wherever they go,
clenches.
the gay app blows up. It's like all of them have just gotten broken with their divine feminine.
Yeah. And so this is definitely something that he does. And his power is the 8, like the base of his power. Of course, he's here now, right? So let's see, what do we have here?
Well, that was
20,
like Vance.
yeah. Only Vance had the 19-1. Vance had the opportunity to start bad and good,
And
right?
well, okay.
We'll see, right? We'll see. Again,
We'll see.
we'll see. This is an opportunity for him. He agreed to that. He agreed to this before he came in to do this. Now we'll see if he remembers. This, on the other hand, this is his power is based in what he says. And so one of the things that I do when I see him talking is I shut off his voice and I just read what he says. You're better off to read what he says than to listen. It's true of Trump too. When Trump talks, it's better not to listen to his voice because it's vibrational and it affects us. If we read it, it's different. And I think that might be why, now that we're more into videos than we are into actually reading the newspaper, it affects us differently, right? It's
That's
not
true.
just reading it and
No,
hearing it
that's true.
in our own head, right? Okay. Let's see what else I have. I can't remember what I have on this guy. Oh, well, we don't have to do Christy. We'll just do her. We'll just continue past Christy.
Was there anything interesting about her?
Let's see. I did her a little while ago, so let's see here.
It's
Um, I think we'll look at her numbers. All right. So her soul vibration
I
is
just can't believe these people. Oh, well, she doesn't have great cards, but
no, but see, her soul is a 32.5. You'll
Six of
see
Wands.
people, yes, people who have significant connections to America will have this vibration. Her
Wow.
outer personality is the Eight of Cups, abandonment. Her path in life, Five of Swords. That's about abuse of power.
Well, that all tracks.
And her shadow, this is her shadow.
That
So
also tracks.
she's trapped in her own fears. She's a very fearful person, I think.
Where does the strength card over there? What does that represent?
That's the balance between her inner and outer self.
Oh,
Okay, so that would be where she could balance herself.
I see.
And that again is in the throat. That's in the throat chakra.
Interesting. Interesting.
But
Okay.
she is definitely she definitely has mind issues in this lifetime, I think. Let me see what else I have for her. I think I do have a chart on her, but we don't have an accurate birth time, so I just have an Aries rising chart. She has a lot of Sagittarius. All of these well, her Jupiter sits on Trump's moon and south node. So he likes her. He likes Christy Nome. He's not going to get rid of her unless I don't know. She looks like she's getting sick to me. She's getting really, really skinny. I think this is too much stress for her. I think it's too much for her. But we'll see what happens to her. I don't know. Um, yeah, so that's Christy. So let me the other person we were talking about was Hegseth.
Yeah, Hegseth. Yeah. I think he's going to have an interesting, I don't know why, but I feel like it's going to be interesting.
So now Hegseth, it's interesting. Hegseth has an interesting chart as well. His path of life, I mean, his numbers. His first of all, his name is Peter Brian Hegseth. His soul vibration is the Four of Wands. It's a pretty nice card. It's a 30 over 3. 3 is creative self-expression. And he was a Fox host, right? Using his voice. Like that's what he should be doing. He should stay on Fox and get out of the Defense Department. Interestingly enough, his outer personality, the Six of Swords is about moving out of troubled waters. I don't know. Doesn't seem like he's moving out of troubled waters. Seems like he's moving into troubled waters. And when you add these two vibrations together, you get a 9. So his expression is the Hermit card. So this is the vibrations that come in his lifetime. His path of life is his same soul vibration. This is sort of a coming together, celebration. A lot of people who do cards call this the Democrats card, the card of the Democrats,
Is
right?
that right?
I think he's in the wrong. I think he'd be better off being a Democrat for his
Well,
own.
we don't know it allegedly if he's has an alcoholic addiction. We don't know if that didn't literally just squirrel his life path completely in a new direction, do you think?
Yes, I didn't get to that. I didn't
Oh,
get to that.
sorry.
Like,
Sorry.
no, you're psychic. You know this stuff. You
Sorry.
don't need to look at the charts, right? And his shadow is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is the messenger. You know that old expression, don't um don't shoot the
Yes.
messenger.
Uh-huh.
All right, let me continue on with this. Um, so about the alcohol. His his youth, his first 27 years of life is a 4711. That's this card right here.
Oh, there you go.
Illusion and delusion, right? So
Yeah,
that's an issue. It's also connected to the planet Venus. He doesn't treat women well.
that's
He
true.
doesn't
Yeah.
treat women well. His power square is a 31-4. It's the Five of Wands. This is the same vibration as Trump's power square. They have the same power square. This is chaos, right? This is chaos. Um, he is now, he just turned on his last birthday, he turned 45. So he's not down here like the other two were. Actually, this 18-9 is a Pisces energy, and it's often associated, this particular vibration can be associated with alcohol abuse
Addictions. Okay.
and addictions. Pisces can be very much addicted. Um, he is now on this line here. This is a two. Two is the high priestess in the tarot and often comes as secrets being revealed. So I think we're going to be hearing stuff about him. Some secrets are being revealed. He is actually here right now. This is where he's sitting, and he's in a world's vibration. The world card is about endings and then new beginnings. So he's in that vibration right now. And he's in a sub vibration of the hanged man, of which he'll be until his birthday next year. So he's not necessarily in a position of power at all. At all. And I think that was that whole the general thing that he did. I think he was
Yes.
just trying to impress his boss,
Right.
right? And but those generals knew, like, this guy's a moron. What the hell is
Right.
he talking about this? I thought, like, I was surprised they even did it because all Putin had to do was blow them all up.
I know. I know.
It's like, all right, anyway. Um, so let me see what else I have on Hegseth. I do have his chart with Trump. Um, so here's Hegseth's chart. Let's look at his chart because this is something else that we can look at and see if is he really an alcoholic, right? He has a Sagittarius rising. Sagittarius rising is all about big picture, truth, lies sometimes, depending. You can lie to yourself with that. But he has Neptune in his first house. Neptune is often associated with true believers. So he's a true believer of something. But Neptune is also um, can be seen with alcoholism because it's escapist. In Neptune, we escape, and so perhaps he chose to escape through alcohol. His moon is in Pisces. He's very sensitive. When you have a Pisces moon, you're very sensitive, but it also will sometimes give you the tendency to be escapist.
Right. That's why that could be why he's drinking, is because he's so sensitive.
That's right. And again, I think this is somebody who is not in a good relationship with his inner feminine. His soul and his path of life are located here. This is the 30/3 energy. It's Jupiter energy. He has Jupiter in Virgo. He also has Mars in Virgo and he has Saturn in Virgo. Virgo is not the most confident of signs, as you know, because you're Virgo. Virgo wants to be, they always try to improve themselves. They do want to be better, right? They're always trying to, like, be better, do better. They do take service very seriously. So I think in his mind, he's serious about the service that he gives, but I think he's just trying to please Trump. So that's not really giving us any service. That's giving Trump service, right?
Right.
All right. Now, I think I have Trump's chart here with him. So let me pull that up. Okay. So here's Donald again. And this is Hegseth's chart around the outside.
Wow.
Okay. And we can see that there's connections. His sun is conjunct um, Trump's Uranus. Uranus is the chaos maker. So he's lighting that up. Do we really need people to light up the chaos maker? I don't think so, but he's doing
Sure.
that.
Yeah, he's doing it.
This is interesting. His Mercury is conjunct Trump's Mercury. So they're saying the same thing, right? The interesting thing about Trump's Mercury is Trump only has one aspect to his Mercury in his chart, and it's a square to Neptune. And when you have one of the ways that that can manifest is liar, liar, pants on fire.
Yeah.
And so he goes along with the lie. He goes along with the lie. He also has Pluto on Trump's Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter is that lucky planet. So in a way, he's potentiating everything about Trump. Um, and his Neptune, the true believer energy, is on Trump's moon. So he believes in Trump. But Trump's moon is conjunct Trump's south node. This is the big baby. That's the big baby energy. And so I mean they're definitely peas in a pod. Um,
Wow.
I don't know what his relationship with his own father was. I feel like in my experience, and I think that's all. Russell Vout, we're not going to do him. That's another. I mean, you have to watch your stomach with all these people with all these
Yeah, for real.
because you
Yeah,
can actually get ill from looking at them for too long.
true. Yeah.
Um, but it seems to me that a lot of these people who attach themselves to Trump, some of them it's just pure greed and avarice because Trump is the devil, by the way. He really is. And people sell their souls, right? They sell the and when you sell your soul, it's like you're moving away from your heart. And they want power and they want money and they want influence in the lower worlds, which is where we live. But that doesn't last. That's temporal. Our bodies fail. Everything that all goes away. The truth of who we are is in our higher chakras. The lower chakras are here to help us navigate this hellscape, whether it be Portland or Chicago or New York City, of which none of them are hellscapes, but in
Right.
their imagination, they call it.
Right.
But so hopefully that gives people some sense. I don't know if it makes people feel worse or make it feel people feel better, but it's interesting that the connections are there. And I thought, when we talked about doing something on Vance, of all of them, he's probably the most dangerous. And of all of them, he has the potential to do good, I think. But
Amazing.
again, we don't know. We'll have to see. Can he do this? This is a lot to ask, even of an advanced soul. But we're all here at this time for reasons,
Mhm.
and we'll end up seeing what the reason for Vance is. So hopefully nobody sends me hate mail that I think he might be a good guy at some point. I'm an optimist though. Except with Trump. I knew he was a criminal from the very beginning. So
So you really think, I mean, do you really feel like Vance could ascend? The if you think about the trappings, that's the word I want to use, the trappings of his childhood, the trappings of his uh college years, where his hillbilly effigy, all the trappings of Peter Thiel, of being a venture capitalist. This is who this man has. It's pretty clear, right? This is pretty clear. These are choices that he made. This is the house he built. Now, do you feel like, what would it take for a human to wake up enough and say, I divest myself of this? And if you did wake up enough to say, holy moly, like I see the light and this is really horrible, I feel like that person would likely walk away because they would be so ashamed. They would deeply, you would clearly be outside of that, what you have built. But you feel like there's enough that he could get enough grip, toe holds on the wall to be able to turn it around.
Um, I don't know if I would go that far to say it. I would say the potential is there, and as with everything, it's choice, and also who's surrounding him. I mean, it's hard to know who he is because he's been two people,
He's a
right?
duplicitous person,
He's
period. I mean,
he's
I got the word
duplicitous.
before you even said it. So that's why I think he is going to rebrand. I think he is going to cool everything off. I think he is going to back us down from this potential civil war energy that we seem to be kind of careening towards. I think that's also very important for corporations and robber barons because they're getting their butt handed to them right now and they need us to go back to kumbaya, we're buying things and we're going on vacation. But here's the thing, I don't see it. I don't see Americans going back. I feel like our mortal wound, our Chiron wound, the wounded healer that's in the United States chart that we're going through right now, I feel like it's awakened something in us. And I don't think we can go back. And I don't think we want to go back. And so I just don't think there's an easy solution other than a compromise of some kind, and then like Sisyphus, like we are continually going to push that rock up because we're not going to go back to Reconstruction. We're not going to go back to Jim Crow. We're not going to go back to fiefdoms or whatever it is that they want us to.
Right. And I agree with you. And that is not, and of course, Vance is one person who can go like that, right? I mean, honestly, right? And he could just be the stopgap. And
Yes.
then,
Yes.
right? So it's
Yes.
not like he's not, the thing about the Aquarian age is that it's not about necessarily rulers ruling, but it's about the collective coming together.
Yes.
And I do have, and this might be my own sort of optimistic, maybe stupidity, if we could call it that.
Oh, I don't think
As
so.
I don't know, like I always see the best in people, even when they're jerks, except um and Miller, it's really hard to see anything like that guy is just so deep
Oh, really
in
bad.
in that energy that I don't know. I mean, he may need a couple more lifetimes to at least crawl out of that, right? Um, so I like to think that it's possible that people can see the light, but we're also having a shift in our consciousness.
Yeah.
Like one of the problems that I find right now is that to judge the future on the past is not like, and I think that's what you're saying. We can't go back. It can't be that way. I mean,
Right.
I guess it could be that way, but that's not really the direction
I
that
don't think it's
we're moving
possible.
in.
I just don't think
We're
it, I
just
don't think.
too connected. We're just too, and I do think that at least like I Musk is he's another one we could do, right? He's like
Bad.
but he's wounded too.
Right.
It's all
So
these, it's
instead
all
of
these,
fixing their wounds, they're just going out and polluting the rest of us with their wounds.
right, right. And so we have to say enough is enough. Like one of the things that I've been saying to myself is enough is enough. I'm tired of this crap.
Right.
I don't know anybody who isn't.
Right. Right.
I don't
Right.
know anybody who isn't, so at some point we're going to say, do we really have to do this? And we are co-creative with spirit, and we're about to move into a whole new consciousness in 2026. I mean, I know a lot of the other readers are talking about this as well. When we have the conjunction of the planet of reality and the planet of imagination at the world point of Aries, the I am energy, we can actually access and create our reality because that's what we do anyway.
Hmm.
Our
There's an
reality is
actual date for
created
this, and I didn't get an invitation.
February 20th,
Am I
2026.
getting an invitation? February 20th? What? February 20th. See, it's something I haven't heard anybody talk about.
Yeah, Neptune and Saturn will conjoin at the first degree of Aries. And the first degree of Aries is the start of the zodiac.
Right. Well, that's a heck of a restart, a reboot.
It is.
That's a
It
heck of
is.
a reboot. I feel like this is really my take on it. And I think what's fascinating about what you provided for us is that humans we're being able to look at things in a neutral way and see how good can be bad and bad can be good and expand our awareness and expand our vibrational, abilities, right? So that's what you did. You helped us exercise our black and white kind of let's move the goalpost over and let's look at all these grays, right? So it's very difficult, I think, to do. But I think what could happen with Vance is that, and certainly Donald Trump came here and taught us a big lesson, right? Had he not been a big baby, as you called him, if he had been a really slick, smart, brilliant guy, we would all be in chains. He really could have done the thing. He could have,
Yeah, we're
could have
lucky
taken this all the way over.
that's right. We're lucky he's a dum dum.
We're lucky he's a dum dum, but it's almost like Spirit's like, let's give him an easy test. And I know that's going to make people mad, right? But I'm telling you guys that this guy, as bad as he is, we are able to hold our own. You see mayors, especially in Oregon, and in Chicago, the two cities that seem to be under attack, you see those people standing up. I've seen cops stand up to ICE. We are waking up. We are pushing back, and we cannot be so easily taken over because we're a republic. We've got states, and states all have rights, and it's just not the same thing as taking over a country that's one small. We're huge, right? So I think that Vance could also be someone who is a helps us in a sense by unwittingly. I mean, the word I just heard was unwittingly. It's like he falls into this position of let's sing kumbaya, let's get it together. And that buys what I feel like it does is it buys us breathing room. It gives us a chance it's almost like a pause in the battle. And it gives us a chance to regroup. It gives us a chance to see, take a look at what's happening and count our injured and where we are. And then we can really focus. Maybe around February 20, we can focus into that midterms and take no prisoners. Because I feel like despite what Vance is going to do for us, that's going to be helpful, right? That's all going to be good. If he stops this, that's going to be great, right? Like that's a good thing he's doing. I don't think he means to do it. I think it's unwitting, but I think he could unwittingly help us. And then I think that he'll be walled off. I think he'll be sectioned off, just like Congress will say, you're not going to veto anything you have no control over. I mean, look at MTG. Have you heard MTG lately? Because she's talking
Yeah,
like sense, like common sense.
that's
And
right.
so
That's right.
they're starting to turn against this administration. And when Vance gets in there, they have no reason to support him because Vance is not the cult leader, right? So I think all these good cards could actually, this good energy could actually he could accidentally help us out. I don't know if I could see him. I don't know. Maybe I don't know, but I just don't see it. I don't see him being really willing to do it.
Well, he's if in fact he becomes president because of the big McDonald's in the sky, um, he'll be the leader, and then it's not really up to him what he's going to do because he's going to have to see who's supporting him and all that stuff. But
Exactly.
I mean, if he wants to lead the country, he's not he, he's not an authoritarian the way Trump is.
No,
It's not his energy.
no.
He's this big idea guy. Who the heck knows? I mean, it's hard to know again what he wants or what he even knows. It's going to be, I think, a see what happens kind of thing. But he's not going to have the reason that Trump has the power that he does is because of his base, which is disintegrating because he's not going to let anybody in on the Epstein files. And so there's going to be that. And then people are suffering. They're already suffering,
I
and
was
it's
going to say
worse
prices are going through the
and
roof.
worse.
People are losing their
And right,
jobs, their
right,
health care. I
right.
mean, that's what and the robber barons are going to be screaming, uncle, uncle, right? Like you see Vegas is empty. You see the Texas State Fair empty. This, I don't think we're going to pull it out. I don't think this economy is going to be pulled out of. I don't see us going into a depression per se, but I do see very, very, very challenging times with a recession. So
Well, that's because we're probably not going to go into if that's true, we're not going to go into depression because of what? Because of the economy before this,
right,
right?
it's true.
Right? The Biden stuff, right?
That's true.
But like there was like um things that were like 80% done, and they're like, no, you can't finish it.
Canceling it,
They're
canceling it. Yeah,
canceling. Like, what is like that's so stupid.
yeah. But it's
It's
the pain is the purpose. They're trying
it's
to get us to say uncle.
for
They're trying
what?
to get us to bow down before them. Musk even he said, the American people need to go through hardship. They
Yeah,
need to
like
go
he
through
has.
this.
What would he know about hardship?
Well, he knows that it makes people crumble, that if you can get them under your, elbow, under your, knuckles, he doesn't know anything about Americans. I'm going to say that right now. That's the problem. None of
And he
these people
doesn't know
understand.
anything about women.
And he doesn't know anything. None
He
of them
doesn't
know
know
anything about
anything.
women. And look who the women who are punching back, like you said earlier, AOC, Jasmine,
Jasmine Crockett.
all the women, Jasmine Crockett, all the women are punching back. Even Kamala Harris is doing laps around the country right now, talking to people, right? Nobody's shutting her up. Nobody's putting her in a corner, right? So they're just they're wrong. They're wrong about who's gonna get the power. I think this is the last gasp of this just
It
hardcore
is. It
massive
is. It's the last
vaccine.
gasp of the patriarchy.
Yeah, right.
And the whole power over dynamic. That's why Project 2025 and all of that, it's at its last, and it makes for a lot of pain for people who probably don't deserve the pain.
No.
But I guess we all agreed to be here at this time. So yay for us.
Yay for us. Well, if you look at it like that, we're going to close this out. We're going to say, the civil rights movement got us so far, right? It's so interesting that the guides were telling me the other day, the civil rights movement got us this far, but we never ratified the ERA.
Right.
Like, what the heck, right? Like, we get so far and then we just like are exhausted or whatever, and we go back to our whatever lives, and we forget that the Sisyphus, we've got to continue pushing. Democracy is a contact sport, full contact sport. It's not go home. And I will say this lastly, that I've had good reasons to talk to people who are not in my house lately, because I'm in my house so much, and people really don't know. They honestly have no clue. Even people in Portland, Oregon, or people in Chicago, they literally have no clue about what's really happening because CNN isn't covering it. The thing they knew was Jimmy Kimmel, because they watched that. They were like, wait, what just happened? Right? And then guess what? All those cable companies got the smackdown. But if we had media really covering this, it would change. And I think you and I know, our viewers know, we're in a silo, but we
Yes,
have to go out and talk to other people. We have
that's
to
right.
really go out and not yell at them, talk to them. Do you know what's going on? I mean, like, I missed some opportunities because it didn't occur to me that these people didn't know what was going on. I just assumed, right? I assumed. That was my mistake. I
Right.
assumed because they had crystals all over their desk and they were selling me something, that I thought they were cool and they were really like plugged in, but they didn't know anything about what was happening politically. Zero. Zero.
Wow.
I know. So that's the problem right now, is I think there's a whole big bunch of people in America that are just not aware. And when they find out, when they get tipped over that tipping point, they're gonna they're going to wake up and be pretty rowdy.
Well, we just have to, as long as we can, we have to be.
We have to just keep it together. We have to kind of hold our light. You know what I mean? Just try to steady ourselves. That's what the guides keep telling me every day. Just steady yourself, right? Just steady yourself. Because it's easy to go off the cliff here. It's easy to go off one side or the other, right? And cause more
Well,
problems for yourself.
this month, October, numerologically, when you add the month and the year, is a 19-1 year vibration for this month. So it's that turning around. It's that destiny number. It's that karmic number. So what we go through this month is we agreed to do. So be
Okay.
prepared.
We're taking care of business, is what I would say. We're
Yeah,
taking care of business.
yeah.
So I wonder what November is then.
November is a judgment, 20/2. The
So we
awakening.
taking care of business and then we call in the popo next month.
And then December
Yeah.
is the world card, and the world card is about endings and new beginnings.
Yeah. We're
So
gonna close
that's
it
so
out.
December is the manifestation,
The culmination. The
the
culmination.
culmination manifestation, and then next year we go into the Wheel of Fortune.
It's the new beginning. I'm
It's the
telling
new
y'all, it's the
beginning,
new
right?
beginning.
The last time we were in the Wheel of Fortune year, Trump became president. The time before that, Barack Obama beat.
God have mercy. Oh,
Yes. And so the Wheel of Fortune is about with the mighty fall and the meek shall rise. So it's a new cycle. So they're at the end. I'll tell you right now. I don't know where Vance is in this because he's, you know, but as far as Trump and all that stuff, I feel like they're at the end of that. And that we just have to make sure we hold these guys accountable, especially Miller and Homan and Nome and all these people who and Bondi. Oh, I used a couple of specific words for her when I was watching her the other day, and they all began with the C. We'll just leave it at that.
oh my God. And I would just add the other people who are going to get held accountable. I'm going to just die on this hill is the ICE agents. They're not following orders. These are illegal activities that they're doing, and I think they're going to get hunted down. I think they're going to be found, and I think they're going to be drugged before a tribunal. I think that might take a couple of years, but I wouldn't get too comfortable. I wouldn't get too comfortable if I was an ICE agent, and I certainly wouldn't get too comfortable if I was a family member, because I think the money that were paid to them is going to be taken back out of their whatever it is, their bank account, their home, that boat, whatever it is you bought with all that illicit money. It's going to be brought back out for restoration to the people that you harmed. I'm going to die on that hill. It's going to happen because to me, they're Nazis. They look like Nazis to me. And
From from your mouth to the ears
the
of the
guides
gods.
keep telling me how many times did they hunt? They just found stolen paintings last month from Jewish people. This woman put her house on the market on Zillow. Stolen painting on the wall. So the justice doesn't stop, you guys. It's 2025, and they're still finding stolen paintings from people who were robbed in the Holocaust. It doesn't stop. It just doesn't. Maybe it doesn't go at the pace we want, right? Maybe it doesn't go that way, but it doesn't stop. So
Cosmic justice is a real thing,
it's a
baby.
real thing. And I'm going to tell you that there's people on the internet right now, I know for a fact, that are cataloging those faces. There's people on threads that have an entire database. You send them the picture, they catalog it, they ID the person. We are the Akashic records. We are writing the Akashic records right now. We're not going to wait for no Justice Department. We don't care about the Justice Department. We are the Justice Department. And we'll show up with our evidence when the time is right, and we'll present it. And we'll demand
I've always wanted to see Kamala as the head of the DOJ.
AG. Yeah.
Yeah.
She might be. Did you read her book?
Not yet, no.
I did. It's sad. I mean, it's not, it is, you can read between the, maybe because I'm psychic, but I can read, but every line, there's another line between the lines. And I'm like, but it's a good book. But that's, it's exactly what we said when we said she's not going to run again because she doesn't want it. And people were like, what do you mean she doesn't want it? She doesn't want it. She got effed over.
Yeah.
And like she said later, I can do more good outside of the system. The system is corrupt. This is a prosecutor who
Yeah.
believes in the Constitution saying it's corrupt. The whole thing is corrupt. I got to be out here to affect change, right? So
He
I think
has to be
that's
one of the people because it is power to the people. It is, Pluto in Aquarius.
yeah, so she's going to the people. And this is what I'm saying, like those people that are cataloging these ICE agents. We are the Justice Department. We are the Justice Department. That's the big change that's going to come out of all of this. Power to the people, truth to the people. The people have the truth. Yeah. That's why I have to take care of ourselves so that we can be there
That's right.
when
And
this
take care
stuff.
of each other.
Yeah, and take care of each other,
Take care of each
especially right
other.
now. Take care of your community, show up for your community, have your community show up for you. It's really the lesson. It's to me, it's the whole reason we're going through this. Our community members are getting their cars broken into and drug out like I don't even know what. We can't stand and let our community that happen to them, especially white people. This is all about white people because it's not happening to us.
Right.
We're the ones that have to stand up because we've got the privilege, we've got the power. We can stand out there on the front lines and protect people.
We the people.
We the people. Thank you so much, Vicki, for coming on. I really appreciate it. It
My
was
pleasure.
fascinating. Absolutely
I
fascinating.
hope it makes people feel better. That's all.
Well, it's information. I think information is important, right? I think we need to sort of move out of the predictive thing of this is going to happen and that's going to happen
Right.
because as I tell my viewers, it's free will, just like you told us, it's free will. I can't guarantee that you're going to brush your teeth in the morning. You have to decide, right? Like, I mean, I think maybe you probably will. It feels like you will to me, but you actually have to decide that. So I think it's important for us to exercise this kind of expansive understanding of human nature, right? I think that's what you were helping us with. And I think that's also true for all of us, right? We get bum raps. We come from a bad past lives where we were doing some things we shouldn't have, and we have an opportunity in this life to turn it around. And that's what the chart, that those charts could be our charts, and it shows you, you're showing people how you can get the power back, how you can learn about yourself and how you can go, oh, that's why these challenges are happening. I need to, for my best, good, it would be good if I did these things, right? So I think it really was helpful. So you guys check out Dr. Vicki's website, theseedsoftransformation.com.
Yep.
All right. And I'll leave that information in the description down below. Thank you for watching to the end and take really good care of yourselves. We're here on YouTube. We've got a beautiful community here on YouTube that's supporting each other and you're supporting us. And we've got a beautiful thing that's happened because of him. This whole community happened because of him. I wouldn't be here without that man, right? So pain makes you do amazing things, right? So thank you so much, everybody. You guys take really good care, and we'll see you again soon.
Take care, everyone.
For entertainment purposes only.